What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. I decided to take a video request one of you guys wanted because I wanted to make something that wasn't a Royal Rumble video. Also, if you guys want me to talk about the Worlds Collide event in my next video, comment it, but I don't think you guys want me to talk about that. I mean, I know you guys prefer classic content. By the way, that first week WWE Went HD video is gonna come soon. Also, if you guys want me to talk about a wrestler's movie, comment it down below because I want to diversify the content on the channel. I don't want it to feel a bit shallow, like I'm only gonna talk about feuds and pay-per-views. I want to talk about more stuff. Why not a wrestler's movie? Comment it down below and I'll do it soon because I want to watch a wrestler's movie and laugh a little. Like, the chaperone is stupid and I think it'd be funny to make a video about Triple H acting. It's as simple as that. I asked you guys a few weeks ago if you want me to talk about current pay-per-views, and some of you said yes, some of you said no. And ultimately, I'll decide on Monday if I'm going to make a Royal Rumble video or not. Right now, let's focus on one of the most competitive feuds in WWE history. Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist at this point, was a 4-time WWE champion. Angle had just finished his feud with the Big Show and he was looking to win the Royal Rumble. Shawn Michaels, meanwhile, was a 3-time WWE champion who also was looking to win the Rumble. Shawn Michaels entered the Royal Rumble at number 18 and Angle entered at number 19. Angle wouldn't last long after Michaels hit the sweet chin music to send him right out of the Royal Rumble. Angle didn't like this and he re-entered the ring a few minutes later and he tossed Michaels out. The Olympic gold medalist then unleashed an assault on the Heartbreak Kid. He used the steel steps on Michaels to bust him open and then he locked him in the Angle lock. Following the Rumble, there wasn't really a mention of the feud, bar Kurt Angle speaking about it a bit on that week's SmackDown. Angle then participated in the number 1 contenders tournament with the winner going to WrestleMania. The Olympic hero made it all the way to the final only to lose to John Cena. The night after No Way Out, Shawn Michaels went up to Theodore Long. He told him that he wants to challenge Kurt Angle to a match at WrestleMania. On that week's SmackDown, Kurt Angle refused to respond to the challenge made by Michaels. On the February 28, 2005 episode of Raw, Shawn Michaels faced Edge in a street fight. Those two had one bloody match. Michaels ended up getting the victory, and right after the match, Kurt Angle interfered and assaulted an already bloody Shawn Michaels. The fans chanted, "You suck," to the Olympic gold medalist, and Angle continued giving some rights to Michaels. Angle ended the assault with the Angle Slam. Kurt then grabbed a mic and he accepted the challenge. So, the match was set for WrestleMania. Also, I believe this was the very first time Kurt Angle was on Raw since the last Raw before the brand extension. On that week's SmackDown, Kurt Angle bragged about how he assaulted Michaels. He also said that since he came to the WWE, everyone has been saying that Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler in the history of this business. Angle also said that at WrestleMania, it will be the biggest embarrassment for Shawn Michaels. Angle also said that he'll prove that he's the greatest wrestler ever at the grandest stage. The Olympic hero then called for his invitational challenger to come out. It was some guy wearing a hoodie and Angle was a bit suspicious. Angle would pull the hoodie down from the man's head and it wasn't HBK. He then asked the guy what his name is, and during all of that, a man put down a camera and removed his jacket. It was then revealed to be Shawn Michaels. HBK went right after Angle and he even hit the sweet chin music on one of Angle's security guards. By the way, one of those security guards was Darren Young. HBK continued handing out some right hands until security pulled him away from Angle. Once again, this was Shawn Michaels' first appearance on SmackDown since like 2000. Like, I don't recall Michaels appearing on SmackDown before this. On the March 7th episode of Raw, Shawn Michaels said that he is a doormat for absolutely nobody. He said despite all the accolades that Angle has, he's never had the chance to go to the biggest stage of them all against Mr. WrestleMania. Kurt Angle then appeared via satellite. Angle said that his issue with Michaels goes way beyond the Royal Rumble. He said it goes all the way back to 1996. Angle said that people during that time asked him when is he joining the big league. He then said that when he won a gold medal, people were talking about some guy named Shawn Michaels climbing down the rafters that year and putting on a wrestling clinic. Angle said that ate him up, and he said that these people even suggested that HBK is the greatest wrestler in the history of this business. Angle took it as an insult to himself and everything he stood for. The Olympic hero did say that HBK is one of the greats, but it's an insult to him that they call him the GOAT. Angle then announced that he's going to accomplish everything Michaels did in 4 weeks. He's going to accomplish everything Michaels did in his 16-year career in 4 weeks. I just had to clarify that Angle beat some jobber in a ladder match on that week's SmackDown. Angle, after the match, announced that he is facing Marty Jannetty the following week. Michaels took news of this and decided to have Jannetty return and team up with him on the March 14th episode of Raw. The Rockers reunited for the first time in 13 years and they faced La Resistance. They won the match and Jannetty went on to face Kurt Angle. Now, I heard that was a great match and it's a hidden gem. I've never watched it before personally. Angle and Jannetty had a 15 to 20 minute match. Angle made Jannetty tap out to the ankle lock to continue following HBK's footsteps. I believe this match got Jannetty hired, but once again he was released a few months later due to some domestic dispute or something like that. At least that's what I found. Jannetty was talented. They even rehired him the following year, but once again he was fired. But wait, that's not it. He was once again rehired in September, and after a few weeks or months he was fired. Damn. That week, SmackDown featured one of Angle's funniest and most notable moments. Kurt Angle trolled everyone into thinking it was Shawn Michaels. Look at him. He even wore the chaps. Angle brought out Sensational Sherry, who was Shawn Michaels' manager back in '92. Angle decided to make a better version of Shawn Michaels' theme song. He put on a performance. I'm just a sexy Kurt. Sexy Kurt. I'll make your ankle hurt. Oh my god. I loved how Angle could be goofy and serious within seconds, and it's awesome either way. It's tremendous. Angle also mentioned during the theme song that Jannetty still can't walk. HBK interrupted from the Titantron via satellite, and he said that Sherry doesn't look good. The Heartbreak Kid showed a highlight package of his career, which I've seen a million times because I have the WrestleMania 21 DVD. But there was also a highlight package for Angle that was played on Raw. That video package is awesome. Like, it shows why Shawn Michaels is one of the GOATs. After the video package, Sherry began to laugh and Angle was asking her why she was laughing. She explained everything and he answered with an ankle lock. Kurt Angle gave no f***s during this era. Like, look at him. He used to do some heinous stuff when he was a heel. Like, man. On the March 28th episode of Raw, Shawn Michaels faced Muhammad Hassan. That match ended in a DQ win for Shawn Michaels due to Kurt Angle interfering. HBK ended up gaining the advantage and Kurt Angle was escorted out of the arena by security. The two had their match at WrestleMania. You obviously know that. Now there was just something special about this one. I can't really describe what makes this match amazing, but it's one of my favorite matches ever. I don't really like rating matches because, like, I can't rate a match and say it's 4 and 1/4 stars. I just can't. But to me, this is what a 5-star match should be because it was off the charts. Shawn Michaels' matches are always something I like watching, whether it be a hidden gem against Y2J on a random Raw in 2003 or a match against freaking Vince McMahon. He is simply spectacular in that damn ring. He lives up to his quote, I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can. Angle is one of the GOATs too, and when you grab both of these men, you have one of the all-time great WWE matches. You just place both of these men in a match, and it's tremendous. Now, the story of this match was that Angle wanted to beat HBK to solidify his legacy. It wasn't really personal. He just wanted people to see him as someone who's better than Shawn Michaels. That is the story. Now, I haven't watched the match in a while, but let me just talk about it for a little. In the beginning, HBK shockingly out-wrestled Kurt Angle. Angle had to resort to right hands to switch the style of the match. From there, it was one hell of a match. Michaels had to low blow Angle to prevent him from hitting the German through the announce table. This is one thing that HBK usually does. Like, he's a face, but when the going gets tough, he resorts to some cheap tactics to save himself. HBK then hit a springboard dive onto the Olympic hero who was on the announce table, and the table didn't break. From there, it was mostly a finisher and signature move fit. Well, not really. I remember they continued going back and forth in the ring, then they started to hit their signature moves. The two traded each of their finishers, and it ended with Angle locking HBK in the ankle lock for about 2 minutes, if I remember correctly, for the victory. This was also the first match where HBK started to wear the baggy pants. He used to wear tights beforehand, and I heard he started to wear them to cover the knee braces he had on. Anyways, the match is certainly in the top 5 WrestleMania matches. Well, top 10 maybe. Although you could say it's top 5. I mean, it's your opinion. This was expected to be a classic, and it delivered. Shawn Michaels moved on to a feud with Muhammad Hassan and Rivalry, while Kurt Angle went on to feud with Booker T. He also started to take a liking to Sharmell. That was one of the weirdest storylines of the Ruthless Aggression era, and I'll talk about it another time. For now, let's focus on Angle and HBK. On the June 13th episode of Raw, Kurt Angle was finally drafted to Raw. The Olympic hero at this point feuded with nearly every top guy on the Blue Branch, so this change of scenery for Angle was a good thing. Triple H on that episode of Raw called for the SmackDown guy to come out. The Olympic gold medalist came out and Triple H was shut up because he basically said that this guy should take a back seat to him because he's the game. You know how Triple H always underestimates the competition, stuff like that. Angle said that if it was anyone else that came out to the ring, then they should have taken a back seat to the game. He then said that he's not just anybody. I have always seen Kurt Angle on Triple H's level, like, always. Plus, those SmackDown vs. Raw games always had Triple H and Kurt Angle have the same or nearly the same overall, because I always remember Kurt Angle had like a 95 overall in most of those games. Kurt Angle then said that he is back on Raw, and he wooed. He then engaged in a woo-off with the Nature Boy. Triple H shouted for them to stop, and the game offered to congratulate Angle. The game said that it's about time that Angle made it to the big leagues. Ooh. Kurt Angle fired back by saying that the last time he saw the game was at WrestleMania 21. He mentioned that he made HBK tap out and that Triple H got his ass whooped by Batista. Triple H fired back by saying that he was flying all over the world while Angle was getting his ass kicked by a woman. Angle said that he let her do that because he likes it. The Olympic hero then gave Triple H a verbal right hook by saying that he hooked up with Triple H's ex-wife behind his back. Triple H brushed it off by saying that everyone made out with her, so he didn't really care. The three were sweating profusely. Was there even an AC in the arena? Because everyone was sweaty. Batista then came out and welcomed Kurt Angle to Raw. Batista overheard Angle challenging him to a match. Triple H got involved and managed to push the match forward to the following week. Batista didn't like what Triple H is doing, but he accepted the challenge anyways. Angle then said that everyone got what they wanted, and all of a sudden HBK's music played. I believe Michaels wasn't on Raw for like 3 weeks at that point, so it was shocking. Michaels came out and said that no one talked about what HBK wants. He then challenged Kurt Angle to a match at Vengeance. Angle then asked HBK if he wanted to lose to him 2 times in a row, and he accepted. From there, it escalated into a brawl between the 4 men, or 5 if you count Flair. It was one of those Attitude Era endings to Raw where they just leave them fighting, you know. The match between Batista and Kurt Angle turned into a tag match, including both Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I could only think of a few matches that have that much or even more star power. Anyways, the tag match saw HBK and the Olympic gold medalist brawl into the crowd while Triple H got the victory. Now, the match between Michaels and Angle at Vengeance was once again a classic. The only problem with the match is the fact that it's overshadowed by the WrestleMania match. I have watched the Vengeance match a few times and I really loved it. The WrestleMania match was better, but that was WrestleMania. How in the hell were they gonna top that? The only way that they could have topped that is if they had the rematch at WrestleMania 22. I mean, some people do prefer it to the WrestleMania match. It's your opinion. The story in this match was simple. Shawn Michaels had to get his win back, or Kurt Angle would go 2-0. It's simple. Michaels did get the victory after hitting a sweet chin music on Kurt Angle in mid-air. The feud was once again on pause, and HBK moved on to a feud with Hulk Hogan, while Kurt Angle lost his gold medals to Eugene. He beat Kurt Angle for his own gold medals. Like, look at that. Anyways, the feud between Angle and HBK was reignited on the September 26th episode of Raw. Kurt Angle came out and asked Mr. McMahon to give him a WWE Championship match against John Cena since he beat him at Unforgiven by DQ. Michaels came out and demanded a title shot for himself since he also won at Unforgiven. Angle then said that the Master Lock might have cut the circulation to Michaels' brain. He then mentioned that he beat Cena at Unforgiven. HBK chants intensified as Angle then said that he made HBK tap out at WrestleMania. Michaels laughed it off and said that he remembers it. He then gave Angle a refresher to Vengeance. Then Angle got petty by saying that he beat HBK first. Mr. McMahon then cut them off and said that HBK and Kurt Angle will have a rubber match at WWE Homecoming, and that match will be a 30-minute Iron Man match. I haven't watched that match in in 6 years or something, but I enjoyed it. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I liked it. Anyways, they were promoting it as the rubber match, but it didn't end with a winner. It ended in a draw. The ending was sick though. Angle locked HBK in the ankle lock, but then Michaels escaped and hit the sweet chin music. Michaels went for the cover, but the time expired and it was a draw. The fans booed the result, and I just happened to notice a guy holding a TNA shirt in the front row. Late 2009 to early 2006, in WWE, had a lot of TNA references, and who remembers this show? You used to bombard Todd Grisham with TNA references also. Hey, did you watch TNA? Oh, TNA's better. Oh, that was funny. Anyways, after the match, HBK wanted to go to overtime and have a sudden death rule. Angle refused to do so, and yeah. The next week, Kurt Angle claimed that he made it clear that he's better than Shawn Michaels the previous week. Michaels came out and mentioned that he challenged Angle to sudden death and that he turned it down. Angle then answered Michaels saying that he isn't scared of him. He then said that Vince McMahon won't fire him because he carries the company. He also said that when he was WWE champion, WCW went out of business. What does that have to do with anything? I know it relates to the storyline where Mr. McMahon McMahon was gonna fire someone, but that's random. He then said that he deserves a WWE title shot. This turned into a segment that saw many superstars claim that they deserve the title shot. What an awesome segment. Cena came out and praised and tore apart his competition. It was then announced that John Cena will face Kurt Angle at Taboo Tuesday. The third man was set to be determined by a fan vote on WWE.com. The choices were Big Show, Kane, and Shawn Michaels. I mean, you guys already know who won that one. The funny part to me is the fact that Kane won a battle royal to get into a poll that he had no chance of winning. But hey, at least he won the tag titles with the Big Show. HBK won the poll at 46%, while Kane got 38. Damn. Kane was close. I take back what I just said, cause I'm kind of an idiot for saying that. Before the match, Kurt Angle went up to HBK and said that he doesn't like him and he doesn't like him, blah blah blah. Neither of them like each other. The Olympic hero then said that they should put their differences aside and take out John Cena. Then we'll see who's the better man. This would be the official rubber match. Michaels said that he'll think about it. Right when the bell rang for the match, Angle knocked down Michaels, making no good on his promise. They did team up later on though, and they took out Cena by slamming him through the announce table. They fought from there on, but then Cena recovered. Near the end of the match, Shawn Michaels hit the sweet chin music on Angle, but then Cena hit the FU on him to retain his title. This is one of those matches I watch from time to time. It's not an amazing match, but it's fun. It's one of my favorite triple threat matches, and like I said, I enjoy watching it from time to time. Once again, Michaels and Angle stopped feuding. The two crossed paths at New Year's Revolution. Kurt Angle entered the Elimination Chamber and he was on fire, but then HBK hit the sweet chin music on him to eliminate him. Michaels was later eliminated by Carlito and Chris Masters. The next night saw both men being forced to team up. Before the match, Angle was about to shout at HBK for what he did the previous night, but Michaels then said that that was last night and tonight they have bigger things to worry about. Michaels then asked Angle if he could trust him. Kurt then showed off his gold medal, claiming that he's full of integrity. He then flipped the question on HBK, asking if he could trust him. During the match, the two began to fight and HBK hit the sweet chin music on his own tag team partner. I mean, HBK was looking for a tag and Angle acted like he didn't see him, so that is why they fought. The following night, or Friday if you count SmackDown taping, Kurt Angle won the World Heavyweight Championship. He kinda turned face during the match, and yeah. On the January 16, 2006 episode of Raw, Kurt Angle was scheduled to face Shawn Michaels. It wasn't for the title, but for Michaels' job. His contract would be terminated if he lost. Near the end of the match, Kurt Angle locked HBK in the ankle lock. Kurt locked it in so damn tight, he refused to let go. While trying to reach the bottom rope, Daivari pulled it away. Michaels, in pain, then slapped Daivari, who then proceeded to bring in a chair. The ref tried to pull it away, but Daivari ended up whacking the Olympic hero with the chair, which led to Michaels earning the victory. And that is it for the feud. They never crossed paths again. Angle, after the match, kicked Daivari's ass and he fired him, which officially cemented his face turn. Kurt Angle would be called the Wrestling Machine from there on, and HBK would feud with Mr. McMahon. And there it was. The one thing I loved about this feud is the fact that both men wanted to be better than one another. Their feud was awesome, as simple as that. And that's it for this video. Make sure you hit a ankle lock on the like button and perhaps a sweet chin music on the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.